James the Intern. James the Intern. James the Intern. Hey, James the Intern here, and I am at Ghost the Musical once again in the fantastic dressing room with James Brown III, JB3 on the Broadway. How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
How's the Ghost? Are you excited? It's getting close to that time.
It is getting close. We still have some time, we still have about 3.5 weeks, so it's good. But the show is amazing, and I couldn't be happier.
I am ecstatic to see the show. Like, I have been waiting for it to come from the West End, and it is here, and I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with Ghost?
Just like most other people, I auditioned, had a call, and from the first call, I was like, this could be cool. I think anyone is a little bit perplexed by the idea of having Ghost become a musical.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's amazing, and it's the coolest thing I've ever done. So, I auditioned, and thank God they liked me.
Yeah, well, how could they not? JD3, we love you. And we were talking to Steven, and you guys got to go to London and actually see it.
Most amazing producers ever. They flew us to London a week before we started rehearsal, mostly just to see how the show runs from top to bottom, because there are a lot of illusions and a lot of Broadway magic that you can't do in the rehearsal studio.
Yeah.
So we never had a full, complete run in the rehearsal studio, so it was great for us to get an idea of the arc of the show, before we started.
And see the madness that you're about to delve into.
Yeah, but they put us up, and we were there. I ended up staying a few days extra, and it was amazing. The cast was amazing there, the company there. So,
do you get to participate in any of those illusions?
I cover a lot of people in the show, and a lot of the people that I cover, yeah. So it is cool.
Can you give us any secrets?
I can't give you any secrets. Interestingly, we just had a PR meeting with our press department, and our producers are very big about it. I understand that, the secrets, they're important, and it's important that we keep them secret.
No, for sure.
So, but the illusions are amazing. You definitely will see people walk through walls. You'll see people appear and disappear.
Which is intense. Was it hard to learn those illusions and be a part of it?
The biggest part of it is actually sitting through tech and having the lighting perfect, and having all the elements had to be perfect so that no one in the theater can figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, really. Our illusionist is amazing. He's someone that has worked with the director for years now, so the two of them have a great rapport, and really have a great idea of how to make it work. So.
How has the fan reaction been to the show? Has it, when those happen in the show, is it just
It's been amazing.
Crazy?
It's crazy. A lot of the moments, they applaud. A lot of the moments they can't applaud because our director, is important for our director to keep the emotional kind of train moving.
Yeah.
So knowing American audiences and how we love to applaud big things.
We love to clap.
He wants to transition so that you don't ever pop out of the emotion and out of the moment. So there are moments where you inside want to, but you got to keep moving.
Is it fun to watch that reaction though?
It is fun. I actually sometimes sit in the house and look back at the audience just to see their reaction.
Do you get a lot of families and stuff coming?
We get a lot of families. Our actually target audience, interestingly enough, however, is like us. It's like that 18 to 30 kind of, that's our big.
Closer to 18. Closer to 18.
So, but they're definitely our families, and I suppose it's a family show, but more than anything, it's a love story, So.
Quite a famous love story.
Yeah.
Is it fun to adapt? You've adapted other films to stage. You were in Little Mermaid. How is that process to adapt something that's such a famous movie and has such famous movie moments into a stage production?
Yeah. This process actually has been very different than some of the other ones. Different than Color Purple. Different than Little Mermaid. And even the producers, it's different because we have the luxury of having the screenplay writer is our book writer.
Which is fantastic.
Which is great.
Does that ever happen?
So he had the opportunity to rewrite something that he never, screenplay writers never think they'll be able to touch their work again because it's a movie and that's it.
And it's done.
It's done. But he had the opportunity to rewrite and do things that he couldn't have done then, and he can be there to make sure that the story here maintains its integrity, you know,
To his vision.
yeah, to his vision, so that audiences can come and still get the movie,
Yeah.
but it, you know, still get the emotion of the movie, the tone of the movie, but now on the stage version.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I am so excited for the pottery scene. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't wait for this moment. I'm already like crying thinking about it. Like, I'm ready for it. Have the tissues in the pocket.
Yeah, it's great because it's there, and actually, without giving it away, the pottery moment is used in a very different way in the show, so that's cool.
I'm ready. I'm just ready to cry. The whole show. The whole show. So, aside from Ghost, you have like 8,000 Broadway credits.
Not as many as 8,000, but I have had
Yes.
some
Yes.
success
Mark my
on
words.
Broadway. Yes.
Do you have like a favorite moment on Broadway that you've been a part of, or like, what was that moment where you really just took it in and you're like, oh my goodness?
I would have to say standing on the stage at Radio City 2 years ago with Memphis when we won the Tony.
The Tony.
That was like,
That was a good year.
yeah. I mean, the only other moment that would probably be better than that is me actually winning the Tony.
Yeah.
But you know, that was the one year that for all the best musicals, we all stood there next to each other, backstage,
Yeah.
as they're announcing it. So you know, that's crazy.
So for the people back home, there is some like controversy from this last Tonys that people winning the Tonys already know.
Oh, we had absolutely no idea. Everyone was back there basically like shaking, nervous. And it was funny because in the rehearsal you were there and everyone, you know, all the different shows were kind of like, oh, you know, good luck, being really cordial between everyone. The night of, it was like, there was a line in between all, you know. So, but we were the lucky ones to have heard our names called, and that was amazing, and just like so cool to had an awesome performance that night. You know, we did a really cool number. So you know, we danced to the Tonys and then we won the Tony. You know,
Did you get to like hold the Tony?
Yeah, I mean, at the party we actually won a few, so that was cool that they were kind of being passed around.
Just passing, sensible, you know, just passing around. The Tony.
Not, you know, I'm sure not as crazy as the producers when they won 12, but we had a few, so.
12. Let's talk about producers was like the Titanic of Broadway. Like they won everything. What was it like being in that process? Because you were also in the film adaptation of the musical.
Yeah, that was fun. It was actually really cool to revisit a show and do a few scenes. We shot King of Broadway, which ended up getting cut from the movie, but it's on the DVD. We shot the dance break. I think we had like between 20 and 30 takes of the dance break to get it right. So that was a long night, but really fun.
No.
Yeah, and then to like find out that it was going to be cut from
Dancing full out 20 times. I don't know. I'm sorry.
double tour, Russian, like the whole thing.
I don't even know what that means.
But it was great. It was great.
Is it fun to be in like these huge? You've been in huge blockbusting musicals, including Ghost. Like, what is the anticipation to go into those? Is it nerve-wracking? Is it exciting?
Most of the time, it's actually really exciting, and you can kind of predict the success of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think like with Priscilla, it was a huge show. At the end of the day, we knew that audiences were going to leave happy, like having had a good time.
It's a good time.
This is the first time that I really was nervous and had no idea what audiences were going to think, because it's just so different than anything that's on Broadway right now.
Yeah.
You know, the music it's definitely like a rock musical. You know, especially having our amazing
Miss
composers.
Casey Leaves too.
Yeah, Casey Leaves,
Some
amazing.
fierce vocalists in the show.
Awesome vocalists. Our writers, David Stewart and Glenn Ballard. You know, they've written song "Hold On" with Wilson Phillips, "Men in the Mirror."
Yeah.
You know, like they've written huge pop songs, so they have an idea of music. To have that mixed in with an actual drama, you know, and have a director who really gets in there, and you know, when the book scenes are there, he wants nothing to do with it being a musical and everything to do with it being telling a story.
Which is,
you know,
fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then to add the illusions onto it and add that it's a huge, you know, classic movie, we just didn't know. I didn't know. So it was nerve-wracking until, you know, the curtain fell and
The first
And I was
time.
like, okay,
Okay, we can just ride the wave now.
Yeah, so
Is it hard to get into it every night with so much going on and like so much to think about?
well, I think it's like any process in the preview process where it's just you have so much to think about because you're changing things during the day that you actually really can't think about anything but the task at hand.
Yeah.
You know, so in that respect, I don't think so. I don't think you'll find that until well into the run. But
Yeah.
as of now, it's like you just want
Just
to
going with it, because you guys, when you're on stage, you really don't leave.
No, it's. I mean, it's really fast paced, and then once you leave, you're changing quickly, and you're back on. So it's a
So
lot.
you don't really have time to put it together. You just have to go.
No, you're just like, what's my next costume, and what changed during the day.
Speaking of costumes, little trivia fact, Mr. JB3 Jim Donovan, you are a designer.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that?
It's been great.
Broadway and fashion.
Broadway and fashion coming together. It's been great actually. 12 of the men in the company are wearing my suits for opening night, which is exciting. I have a company called World of Alpha, and it's worldofalpha.com, and it's basically tailor-made clothing, suits, button-down shirts, jeans, ties.
Fierce menswear.
Yeah, and actually we're adding women's wear to it slowly but surely. Basically, you put your measurements in, you can create whatever you want
On the website.
On the website, and it's shipped to you to fit exactly you.
Which is fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's like accessible fashion.
Yeah, and actually accessible, quality, and affordable. For a suit, a beautifully quality, wool suit, $200.
Which is almost unheard of.
Tailor-made, which would cost you at least $1,000, typically. So that's going well. And then aside from that, I have a line called James George III, and I'm designing and making 3 of the women's dresses for the show. So
Which is fantastic.
yeah, so it's already made. Doing a little bit of couture kind of design for one of the women.
Yeah.
It's
How
kind
do
of.
you balance that, the Broadway dance with the fashion so like?
Yeah, you take your time, and the great thing about, once you're kind of in a show schedule is you have your days free.
Yeah.
So you're doing the show at night and training during the day. So and it's a passion of mine. So you find time.
You find time for it.
Yeah.
That's really exciting that they're going to be wearing it for opening night. So your two worlds are completely just like intertwining.
Yeah, it's cool. And one of the owners of World of Alpha with me is my father, and the actor Boris Kojo. He's going to be in the new Resident Evil movie. His wife, interestingly enough, is going to be opening Streetcar Named Desire. She's
Right across the
right
way.
across the street. Her name is Nicole. So we're trying to kind of do like a joint situation where we can kind of get him to press night and get my dad to press night. To publicize Ghost as well as publicize the company. We're going to be doing something with Broadway Cares.
Which is one of our favorite organizations at Broadway Spotted.
Yeah, so Broadway Cares will have their own kind of link to World of Alpha. And if you buy a suit from us through the World of Alpha, or through the Broadway Cares link, then 10% of the money will go to Broadway Cares.
There you go, buy a suit.
Yeah.
We actually did bring you a gift today, too.
I love gifts.
Because we know you're a designer. We are actually requesting several dresses for me to wear on Tony night. So.
For you to wear.
We got you the Barbie Design and Dress Studio.
This is what I've.
So you can make some dresses.
This is what I've needed
backstage.
in my fashion repertoire to design. Well,
No.
thank you.
The Bob Mackey, he does the Barbie, so now I have the JB3.
Bob Mack. Let me tell you a little bit of something about Bob Mackey.
Ooh, we love Broadway Secret.
This is kind of a secret I'm going to tell on another Broadway spotted person, Brandon Rubendahl.
Oh, you know him.
I know him very well. For Christmas, maybe Brandon Rubendahl got a Diana Ross Barbie with a Bob Mackie dress.
Stop it.
the Bob Mackie Barbie collection, and it was
Could you reenact that moment?
Miss
for us?
Ross herself.
Did you reenact that moment?
I'm not sure if I'm good enough actor to reenact that moment. I feel good about my skills, but I don't know about that one.
I mean, you guys are basically like Broadway's power couple.
Well,
Between you have like 8 million Broadway credits.
well, that's
so.
very sweet if you say that.
No,
But we're happy.
both
We're
of
happy,
you.
and yes, we have been blessed with some success.
He did tell us though that you would not let him black out the curtains.
No, because I like sunlight. I mean, come on.
He did say that he wants a cave.
Yeah, and now he loves the sunlight because I have enough. You can't live on the 35th floor with floor-to-ceiling windows and cover them.
That's true. That's like unheard of in New York City.
And we don't have residential buildings facing us, so it's not like
so
we don't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to love it, live it.
We can see the river and 42nd Street,
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that inspires you a lot. You can just sit in the sunlight.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Chill out.
It's awesome even at night, just to see the lights of the city and, really feel like you live, like this is New York and this is
It's
New York.
the dream,
This
yeah.
is the dream of living New York. I won't say that this is everyone's New York living, but this is what people dream of when they want to come to New York.
But you originally went to school not only fierce dancer and designer, for psychology?
I did. There was
So brains as well.
I grew up, actually, this wasn't my dream. I didn't want to be an actor. I just did it for fun. I actually grew up running track. That was like my big thing, and studying, kind of a nerd. But I went to school and wanted to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a neurosurgeon. So I was pre-med and on my way to medical school. But
Do you think that the psychology background helps you like delve into characters?
it definitely helps me delve into characters. It definitely helps me to be to listen. I think I always say that like one of the biggest lessons I learned about being a good actor or being an actor in general is listening. If you can't listen to your fellow actors and what's happening, then it's kind of hard to honestly react. And so I think as a psychologist or psychiatrist, that's a big skill that you need to have. And then also just the psych aspect of auditioning.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of turn it on in an audition room, people who are judging, literally their job is to judge you.
So we do expect to see some Barbie designs.
I will definitely design some Barbie design, and because I happen to have a few Barbies at home.
Just to
Awkward. They're not mine. I'll put them up on Twitter.
And you do have a Twitter.
Yep, my Twitter is at James George III with a third. James George III.
There you go. So you can @reply him, and we will be looking forward to seeing those Barbies. James the Intern.